What is going on, guys? This is definitely a little bit of a different video than usual, but I've seen some really shady things going on around YouTube lately, and I kind of felt obligated to speak up. I don't really know what the format of this video is going to be like, but I think maybe I'll do some kind of like cool storytelling vibe. Maybe throw on a little clip of a campfire or something, maybe toss on some cool music. Yeah, something like that. Change things up a little bit for this one. Campfire stories with JP. Anyways, I just wanted this one to kind of be me just keeping it real with you guys for a few minutes and telling a little story about something that happened to me recently and really kind of open my eyes up to a larger scale problem that we have here. A problem that could potentially lead to a lot of people getting hurt. But anyways, I'll get into this story and I'll give my honest advice on how to approach a lot of these penny stock YouTube videos going forward, because I do still think that there are some that provide a lot of value and that are done by honest, genuine people. They're not all bad, but there are some people out there with malicious intentions that will do whatever they can to make a dollar, even if it's at other people's expenses. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So let me take you back to the beginning where it all started. Okay, maybe not right back to the very beginning, but really when this channel started picking up a little bit. I say that relatively because I really still don't think this channel's yet. Also, before I really start to get into this, I'm not going to say any names during this video. I don't want to end up with any sort of defamation lawsuits or anything like that. Not that I think any little YouTubers are going to try and sue me or anything, but a company sure might. So forgive me for that. But anyways, back into things. So I'm used to seeing through watching videos that a lot of people offer kind of Weeble stocks in their videos or some other services. So I thought, hey, I might as well put a little contact email on my channel just in case anybody wants to reach out with any like cool promotional offers. Like maybe somebody wants to send me a new mic or something like that for like a shout out or a link in the description. So I'm checking this email about probably once a week, nothing too frequently. I got the Weeble stock email really quickly actually, and that's when I knew I was really starting to make it. Drag that thing straight to the trash. But anyways, then I got this email from a representative from a consulting firm out of the UK. So that kind of sparked my curiosity a little bit, and I opened it up to see what it's all about. Basically, what this consulting firm told me is that they represented a small cap corporation based out of Toronto, listed on a couple different exchanges over the counter and on international markets. They explained a little bit about the company, what they did, and they sent some links to some major news announcements that the company recently posted on their website, relating to some acquisitions, capital raises, etc. So I look up the stock this guy's talking about, and he wasn't kidding when he said small cap. It was trading under $1 per share at the time, and the market cap was tiny, maybe one of the smallest market caps I'd ever seen. I kind of started to pick up on what's going on here. This individual's reaching out to me to try and get me to do a video on this company that they're representing. This is nothing new, this goes on all the time. I don't actually necessarily believe it's always a bad thing either. If the company's genuinely a great company and people watch a video talking about it and they want to buy the stock, it gives the company a lot of access to more capital to help grow its business. It makes a lot of sense from a business's perspective to want to reach out to influencers and get them to promote your company if you genuinely believe it's a good company. Therefore, if the company's share price goes up, they'll have a lot of access to a lot of capital and they'll be able to raise money which they can use for growth to better the position of their company going forward. And you see a ton of sponsored videos for certain companies out there, a lot of which are great companies with massive opportunities out in front of them. And that doesn't necessarily mean the situation's a pump and dump either. If it's a great company that's run well, they can use this capital to expand and help themselves grow even more, like I just said. It's like a pump, but no dump. In the long run, all the shareholders will win because of it. Obviously, since this specific stock's market cap is so small, it wouldn't take much buying power at all to move it pretty substantially. Like even with my relatively small channel here, I could probably move the stock price of a company this small if I sold it well enough. But at the time, there's a couple things about the situation that I'm finding particularly a little odd. The first thing that struck me as a little bit strange was, why would this company from Toronto ask for help from a small consulting firm out of the UK? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of consultants throughout Canada. Why would they go through the trouble of working with one from the UK? So I start to look through this consulting company's website, and it's going on about how they provide professional consulting services, really stressing the professionalism. I flip back to my email and I'm reading through it, and it's just littered with grammatical errors. The structure doesn't really seem very professional. There's just random links tossed left, right, and center. And on top of this, the person's email doesn't appear to be a work email affiliated with that consulting firm. Like say I worked for Apple. My work email would obviously end with something along the lines of @apple.com. This person's email just had a random handle along with it and had no indication of any affiliation with this consulting firm or even the company itself that they were trying to get me to promote. I then Googled the handle of this email to get an idea of where it's coming from, and it turns out it's a special email service that provides encrypted email services, protecting the data and all the information. So I'm obviously really really starting to get some red flags by now? Actually, while doing this video, I was actually looking through the company's latest press releases, and I found out that they actually acquired this consulting company that this guy messaged me claiming to be from recently. So maybe this consulting firm actually is legit, and maybe this guy was for real. But even if he was though, at the time, it did seem pretty sketchy, and there were definitely a lot of red flags flying. But anyways, it gets a little weirder. So I replied to the person and basically explained to them that I wasn't going to do any sponsored video because I didn't want to hurt the authenticity of my channel, which is true. Your guys' trust is the most important thing to me right now. If I get all of you guys caught up in some sort of pump and dump or a company that completely flops, nobody's gonna ever watch my videos again. And you know, then this channel I've worked really hard to try and build up is done. So anyways, I respectfully decline this person's offer and tell this person that I won't be entertaining any sponsored content at the moment. A few days later, I drop a video and the same dude comments on it. How is insert company name not on this list? And the list had nothing to do with that stock whatsoever. So this is just a clear attempt to try and get the name circulating around in the comments to create a buzz or something? I don't really know. But I've deleted the comment since because I don't want anybody going back through my videos to try and find that company and then exposing the company or the individual or anything. Remember, I'm not trying to get sued here. And buddy, also if you're watching, I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying that my interpretation of the whole situation was a little bit sketched out. Don't sue me. So anyways, that was a little odd, but I didn't think too much of it and I kind of brushed it off. A couple weeks later or so go on, and for some reason the company crosses my mind. And I found myself kind of curious about their stock price and what's happened with it in the meantime. So I Googled the stock price and I was absolutely blown away. The stock had almost tripled from the price it was at when the guy had reached out to me. So I'm going, what the hell happened? I'm going through the company's press releases, I'm trying to find a reason as to maybe why, and it's nothing that looks incredibly different from anything else they posted in the weeks before. So I hop on Yahoo Finance and I go to the conversations tab for this stock, trying to find anybody that might have an explanation for what might have happened, and a lot of the comments were saying, I'm here from so-and-so's YouTube video. Again, I'm not going to say any names, but I've never heard of this guy's channel before in my life. That's not a shot at him or anything, that's not even saying he's a small channel. I'm just not super well versed on this YouTube thing at all. Anyway, so I searched up this guy's channel and it's massive compared to mine. Like, he's got probably 10 times more subscribers than I do. So I hop on his videos page and I see this video that dropped around the exact same time that that stock price shot up. So naturally I'm like, okay, here it is. And it's this video that goes over the stock of the company that I was being inquired about, really hyping it up and the moves they've been making lately. And the guy's saying that he's confident that this stock will 2x for him very quickly and is confident that over time the stock will 10x for him, promising a lot of great things here. Like, no shit, it's gonna 2x for you really quickly. You have a massive following and it's the smallest company I've ever seen in my life. So it doesn't take much to move this stock at all. Now somebody's gonna go back and look onto your videos maybe a couple weeks from now and go, oh damn, he was right, it 2x'd. And now this guy's looking like a genius for calling it. And that really kind of bolsters his credibility and makes him look like he's the real deal. But anyways, I'm looking through his description to see if there's any indicator that they paid him for promotion, and there's absolutely nothing. But I know for a fact that same guy reached out to him and offered him some money to promote the stock. First, I mean, the guy uploaded the video a couple days after I replied back to the guy that emailed me about it and told him no. Obviously, when I told him no, he went straight to this guy. The timing was just too close. Plus, if that wasn't obvious enough, I go to the comments, and this is actually hilarious. But I actually see the same guy that emailed me in the comments. But this time he's acting dumb, and he's acting like he's never heard of the company before, saying, oh, thanks for the research you did. This company seems incredible. I really like the moves they've been making. The same moves he was hyping up to me in a email about earlier. And the YouTuber actually pinned the comment as well, almost as if he was laughing with the dude at everybody. So I mean, I'm not making any accusations again, but this YouTuber was more likely than not paid to do this video on this stock, and didn't disclose the fact that he was paid to do so at all. So on YouTube, you legally have to disclose any sponsored content in the description of your video. You have to disclose who the sponsor is and what exactly they're sponsoring. This guy didn't disclose any of this, so he's literally leading on a bunch of his followers completely blindly into what could be potentially a situation that could get them financially hurt. At least if you disclose that you're paid to do this video by the company, or in this case, a third-party consulting firm, then the people watching your video might be able to say, hang on a minute, this seems a little sketch. Instead, you're acting like this is some diamond in the rough company that you just so happen to stumble on, and you're convincing other people that it's a great investment without telling them that, oh yeah, by the way, they paid me to say all this. So I mean, not only is it legally wrong and against YouTube's policies, but it's also a pretty slimy move in my opinion. To make things worse, I looked at the 5-year history of this stock, and it looks like a few years ago it shot up before. It held this position for about a year or so, and then it came crashing back right down to where it came from. I'm not saying that that was the result of any pump and dump, or even that's the case what might be happening now, but I mean, it kind of looks like that may have been what happened. So if that's that's the case again, a lot of people could be getting hurt because of this. So I can't really fully prove anything, but I'm pretty sure I know exactly what's going on here. And I just think it's really slimy that other people on this platform would lead their followers blindly into a situation like this, knowing damn well what could happen. But again, I'm not making any formal accusations, I'm not saying any names. This is just campfire story time with JP. For all you know, I could have made this whole thing up. So again, don't sue me. But anyways, I just wanted to make this video to kind of show you guys what might or might not be going on out there. Just always be very, very careful when watching any of these penny stock videos on YouTube, because you never know who's behind it and what their motives truly are. Always check the descriptions of these videos, check for sponsored content disclosures. Then you can know if somebody paid them to do this video or not. But even then, just like the story I just told, there are always people there that won't disclose this. So just again, be extra careful when you buy any stock that you see on any YouTube video, or read any article about it for that matter, especially with these small cap stocks, because those are the ones that this usually tends to happen on. Always do your own research, and if you're really new to this and you're looking up to YouTubers to give you advice, at the end of the day, like they say, you might be best to actually go and talk to a licensed financial advisor, because that way you know that there's zero chance they'll have any hidden agendas. But if you want to stick with the YouTube community, find people that you trust, find people with a proven track record. My promise to you guys now and going forward is that I will only provide content that is 100% authentic. I will never do any sort of sponsored video for any company that I don't personally already own and genuinely believe in. Like you guys know, I've done a few videos on Drone Delivery Canada. If Drone Delivery Canada came out and offered me a fat bag to go do a video on them, I'd probably take it. And even if I do, I will always make it clear and transparent that the video is sponsored. That way you guys can take everything that I say with a grain of salt and decide whether or not you still want to invest, knowing what you know. Anyways, after going through all that, I just kind of felt obligated to get on here and say something. I just wanted to vent for a little bit. So I hope you guys kind of enjoy this style of video. I don't know how much of these I'm ever going to make, but I thought the style was kind of cool to try for once. But anyways, fire's starting to die down, so I think it's about time you guys get on out of here. I'll see you in the next one, eh? Take care, guys.